break this. Even if I don't preach, it's okay. But if we can break this, it's part of, that's what I'm saying, remote control. If God gives you a remote, He shows you things before they happen, and you can control them. Another prophetic word, not word, the vision. Now, God showed me there is a demonic flu, a demonic that is going to be cast. A demonic. In this vision, God showed me like 8 out of 10 people. This flu would go up to 2 or 3 months. And this flu would wreck many people. A lot of people are miserable. And God says you have to stop this because it's a demonic flu. It's not a normal one. And this thing is coming. Listen, I do not speak according to news. You can research, you won't see this thing. But when it comes, it will be bad. But the reason why God shows a prophet is so we can stop it. The devil is planning a certain particular flu that is going to trouble people for weeks and months. And many people, when I say 8 out of 10, I'm meaning if it's 1 million, it means maybe 20% leave it out. Are you with me? I want us to pray against these two things. They are agent. That's why I'm even delaying the preaching. They are what? They are agent. God has shown me, and I need to. There are other things that God has shown me a lot. But these two, I'll make you participate. Hello? Amen. These two, I'll make you. Can we stop these two things? Let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus. Father, I come against this demonic fruit that the devil is trying, Almighty God, to bring in the name of Jesus. I destroy it, I destroy it, I destroy it, I destroy it. I break it, I render it useless. Rakashaka boko shikabakata. Rakashaka baka rabababa. Rekeshakataka rabaka rabababa. Rekeshekete shakataka rabababa. And this demonic flu, we destroy it, we break it, we command it out, we block it. It cannot touch people. We confuse every plan of the enemy in the name of Jesus Christ. So we need to be a step ahead like Elisha. We need to be a step ahead like Elisha. He knew what the king was discussing in the bedroom.
The coronavirus is now spreading rapidly around the world in 2 distinct and interconnected ways. People in more than 100 countries have been infected, with more than 100,000 reported cases and over 3,000 deaths.
New alarm bells ringing tonight on the coronavirus outbreak in this country as the number of dead rises. More confirmed cases tonight in New York and Los Angeles, where an airport worker on the front lines of stopping the virus's spread has been infected.
An outbreak of coronavirus infections in the Wuhan province of China in December 2019 is threatening to emerge as the next pandemic.
And this flu would wreck many people. A lot of people are miserable. And this flu would wreck many people. A lot of people are miserable. The devil is planning a certain particular flu that is going to trouble people and this thing is coming. Listen, I do not speak according to news. You can say it, you want to see this thing.
We're deeply concerned both by the alarming levels of spread and severity and by the alarming levels of inaction. We have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
Tensions flared at Woolworths Chullora around 7 o'clock this morning when health authorities are urging people not to bulk buy, concerned the elderly and other vulnerable groups will suffer.
There's no reason to have months' worth of supplies at home.
I just want one pack. No, not one pack.
But with supermarket shelves still empty, customers are clearly fed up.
The devil is planning a certain particular flu that is going to trouble people for weeks and months.
You have the flu. I mean, view this the same as the flu. When somebody sneezes, I mean, I try and bail out as much as possible with the sneezing. I had a man come up to me a week ago. I hadn't seen him in a long time, and I said, "How you doing?" He said, "Fine, fine." He hugs me, kisses me. I said, "Are you well?" He says, "No." He said, "I have the worst fever and the worst flu," and he's hugging and kissing me. So I said, "Excuse me." I went there, I started washing my hands.
Now God showed me there is a demonic flu. A demonic?
The flu. I mean, view this the same as the flu.
Now God showed me there is a demonic flu. A demonic?
This is, I really think, Doctor, you want to treat this like you treat the flu, right?
The coronavirus is a family of viruses that can cause as mild things as just a common cold, all the way up to SARS or MERS. These are these bad pneumonias that we're talking about. And basically what these viruses are, they look like a tennis ball with all these spikes sticking out of it. And depending on the type of spike, it allows that virus to attach to certain places. So some viruses, they have the spike that attaches to your nose. So basically you just get a common cold. But the SARS virus and this new virus that we're talking about has the spike that allows it to attach to the cells in your lung. And when it attaches there, it puts in information to make photocopies of itself. So it uses our equipment to make more viruses.
I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern over the global outbreak of novel coronavirus.
The most likely way people can become infected is by droplets that contain the virus. These droplets carry the virus into the air and can enter through the nose, mouth, throat, and lungs of a person who is within 6 feet or 2 meters. The virus infects the lungs, causing the lungs to become inflamed. The alveolar sacs have to be healthy for the body to breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Infection of the virus causes damage to the cells of the lungs and triggers an inflammatory reaction. Fever may develop. With severe inflammation, inflammatory fluid fills the lungs. This reduces the function of the alveoli, resulting in coughing and difficulty breathing. The oxygen level in the blood may decrease. In some people who become severely ill, other organs may be affected, such as the kidneys or the heart.
An early study of 99 infected showed a high mortality of 11%, similar to SARS, and ICU admission rates of 23%. An earlier study described a virus pathology with an 8-day incubation period, a week of infection, followed by a potential escalation to hospitalization and intensive care over another 8 to 10 days. Other indications put the mortality rate closer to 4%. The virus has, as of February 6th, over 40,000 confirmed cases in China alone, with almost 200 cases in over 25 other countries. However, Dr. Jonathan Reed from the UK believes that the numbers of actual cases is far greater and has estimated between 170 to 300,000 by February 9th. This is because symptoms can be mild and escape reporting and testing. What's more, in stark contrast to SARS, some patients may be infectious in their incubation period before the onset of any symptoms.
Earlier today, I received a call from Minister Mkhize informing me that they had been informed by the National Institute of Communicable Diseases that South Africa had now recorded its first coronavirus infected person who had been traveling from Italy and had gone to see a doctor, and the doctor immediately realized that we could be dealing with something serious and sent him in for the various tests and all that. So it's now been confirmed that we have a person within our country who has tested positive to coronavirus. Many more countries have been affected, and it looks like it will keep on spreading to a number of countries in the world. The key question is whether we are ready and prepared, our medical care people, whether in the private sector and in the public sector, being informed that their alertness in identifying this disease must be at a much higher level.
Parents from that school tested positive for coronavirus, the novel coronavirus, that's COVID-19. So what do we know about the first case of COVID-19 here in South Africa? The patient, we're told, was 38 years old. He returned from Italy. From what we heard from the Minister of Health yesterday, Dr. Joel Soko, he didn't show signs, he didn't show symptoms of the novel coronavirus. So that's how he got through the airport.
There will be more cases identified in South Africa. They are increasing in every part of the world. As we speak today, we have probably about 94 countries that have got the disease identified. When it was notified about 2 months ago, there only were about 5 countries that were involved. So the number has increased in such a way that every country should expect that it will be detecting people who have got this virus.
Now, God showed me there is a demonic flu. The devil is planting or planning a certain particular flu that is going to trouble people for weeks and months.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. The World Health Organization has now confirmed what many epidemiologists have been saying for weeks. The coronavirus is a pandemic. There are now more than 120,000 known cases in 114 countries. But it's not the word pandemic we should focus on, says the WHO. It's preparation, public health, and political leadership. Because all experts agree this is going to get worse.
A new reality begins in Italy. Streets virtually empty as a nation adjusts to life under quarantine.
This morning, big trouble in the skies. The airline industry taking a devastating hit over coronavirus fears. Many airports across the country, ghost towns. Planes littered with empty seats after travelers ground their trips. The airline industry is forecasting up to $113 billion in losses worldwide this year. American, Delta, United, and JetBlue all cutting back on U.S. and international flights.
And God says you have to stop this because it's a demonic flu. It's not the normal one. And this thing is coming. Listen. I do not speak according to news. You can say it, you want to see this thing.
We've got to take a few moments to try and digest all of the news about coronavirus that just keeps coming at us.
In this vision, God showed me like 8 out of 10 people, this flu would go up to 2 or 3 months. And this flu would wreck many people. A lot of people are miserable. And God says you have to stop this because it's a demonic flu. It's not a normal one. And this thing is coming. Listen, I do not speak according to news. You can say it, you won't see this thing. But when it comes, it will be bad.
The growing virus crisis overseas, a hotel in southeastern China collapsing.
But when it comes, it will be bad.
So I can say we will see more cases and things will get worse than they are right now.
Around the world, there have been 121,564 cases of coronavirus, and there have been 4,373 deaths. 66,239 people have recovered from the virus.
I've taught you things here, I've prophesied things before they happened 6 months. And coronavirus started when? December. But I told you in October that this disease is going to affect many people. Now God came back again to tell me why. He says, he showed me the cross, and he showed me a lot of blasphemy. He showed me Jesus on the cross. And I said, what is this, Lord? He says, a lot of people have blasphemed. Listen, God makes sun rise on wicked die. But what God wants to show them, he wants to show the people that, you see, me, if I take my hand just like that, little bit, the whole world will start closing events, and the whole economy will go flat. The whole world will start closing events, and the whole economy will go flat. Listen, we need Jesus. Amen. The whole world will start closing events. Thank God, since we started praying, there's been a lot of people that are recovering from it. You see, the world doesn't know that it's because we persisted in praying. Let us pray. Let us pray against this coronavirus. Hello? Can we stop it? Let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus. Hello? You're not praying with power. You people, you're praying with your life. Listen. If I say pray, you are saving your life. Hello? You want to die? Listen, when I say pray, you don't know what I'm doing. What I'm doing, I'm protecting you. If you give, you are given. Give and it shall be given. If you pray for protection and to destroy this thing, the first person God is going to answer is you, because you gave your time to pray. God will give you life. You won't be infected. So you can't pray something like that, like, once this thing comes, some of you are already on the list. Hello? Are already on there? So by praying, you're removing yourself from the list. Let's pray with aggression that this thing should die. Hello? Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus. Why do I want us to pray? Is because God showed me, and I told you people that this thing is going to come, and this thing is coming, and we can stop it by prayer. Why did God show me? So that when we pray, we can stop it or limit it. Did I show you my book? I showed you in a blurb. My prophetic book, October 2019. God told me what is going to happen. And I wrote in detail how it will affect the world.
And I saw it in South Africa. That's why we're praying very hard, because if it hits places like Chatsworth, Amlazi, Kwamashu, like bigger places, it will be hard to control. Listen, the town in China is a ghost town. Everybody is inside the house. Businesses will be crippled completely. There's no going to do business. Shelves will be empty. Business stops, nobody moves. That's how bad it is. China, I was reading now, big businesses now, they are asking that by the time they open, the government must give them some money or loan them some money, because they will not make it, they will close. Listen, this is a heavy thing. If God tells a prophet, it's a very heavy. God showed me on. It started somewhere mid-December. And the doctor who withdrew physically died already. But me, I saw it before. I explained to you, and I made you pray that day. And I say, you won't understand what I'm talking about. I say, but when it comes, you're going to see it. Huh? I say it's like flu-like. It has flu characteristics, this thing, because I could see people falling. Huh? Falling, and people are miserable. People will be infected with this bad disease, like flu-like. And I said, it won't go away easy, because God showed me that few months it was still persisting. Let's stand up. Prophetic ministry, that's why Satan doesn't like it, because we can see something from far. But anyway, I cover you with a spiritual mask. I say I cover you with a spiritual mask. We need to break this. Even if I don't preach, it's okay. But if we can break this, it's part of, that's what I'm saying, remote control. If God gives you a remote, He shows you things before they happen, and you can control them. Another prophetic word, not word, the vision. Now God showed me there is a demonic flu, a demonic that is going to be cast away. In this vision, God showed me like 8 out of 10 people, this flu would go up to 2 or 3 months. And this flu would wreck many people. A lot of people are miserable. And God says you have to stop this, because it's a demonic flu. It's not a normal one. And this thing is coming. Listen, I do not speak according to news. You can research, you won't see this thing.